Alright, today we're going to talk about similar triangles. Yesterday we talked about congruent triangles. Today we're going to talk about similar triangles. Wade, read the first sentence up there.
Triangles that have the same shape but differ in size are called similar triangles.
Okay, so yesterday we learned congruent triangles had the same shape and the same size. Right? So those would be congruent triangles. And remember, this is the sign for congruent. Now today we're going to talk about triangles that have the same shape but different size, making them similar. These two triangles are not congruent, but they are similar. Let's see. Wade, come up here. Come on, Wade. Paige, come up here. Come on, Paige, smile. Now look. Look at these two people. They are not the same size, are they? Are they? But they're the same shape, aren't they? They're both people. They both have heads. They both have arms. They both have legs and ears. Therefore, they are similar, but they're not congruent. You see the difference? If they were congruent, then we'd have to put Kate up here. You and Kate are congruent, aren't you? Same shape, same size. Right. Twins would be considered congruent. Okay? But people are just similar. She's similar to him, right? She has arms and legs. He has arms and legs. Right? Kate can have a seat. So do you understand the difference in triangles? Two triangles are similar if they're the same shape. They're both triangles, same shape, but different sizes. Okay? Now, of course, there's going to be rules.
How do we know we turn the thing on and off?
So, two triangles are congruent if they are the same size and the same shape. Okay? Means everything's congruent. All the sides and all the angles. Two triangles are similar if they're the same shape, and all three angles are congruent. So in other words, in a congruent two triangles, the sides are the same and the angles are the same. Okay? In similar triangles, the angles are the same, but the sides are not the same. Now, the symbol for similar is this. That's similar. Okay, this means similar. And y'all already know this means what? That's congruent. These two triangles have all three angles are what? This is congruent to is, so angle A is what? Congruent to angle P. Angle B is congruent to angle Q. And angle C is congruent to angle R. Now, are any of the sides congruent? No, we don't know. Remember, for it to be congruent, it has to have lines like that, right? But we don't see any lines on here, do we? Well, we don't know. They might be. They don't look the same size. Okay? But we don't know. We don't know for sure, do we? So are these two triangles similar or congruent? Similar. They're not congruent because we don't know whether any of the sides are equal. Remember, to be congruent, all angles have to be equal or congruent like they are, and all the sides have to be congruent. But in this, we don't know if all the sides are congruent. So the question says, is the triangle ABC and PQR, are they similar? Well, yeah, they're similar, but they're not what? Congruent. Let's look at the next one. Here we have three sets of triangles. They want you to tell whether they're congruent, similar, or neither. So let's look. This one right here, we know this angle is equal to this angle because they're both right. This angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle. All three angles are congruent, which makes these what? Similar. Not congruent because none of the sides are congruent. Here we've got three sides congruent to three different sides. Now, what theorem is that? Side, 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 which makes these two triangles what? Congruent. So this one was similar. Now, notice that when two triangles are congruent, they're also what? Similar. That's why they put this little thing. You see that in the congruent sign? It means it's equal and similar, which makes what? Congruent. When two triangles are equal and similar, they are congruent.
So on a test, you don't have to put.
You just got to put this means congruent, this means similar. Now this one, does 95 match with anything?
No.
Does 40 match with anything? So what are these? Neither. Good. So let's look at this. I'm going to go back. All right, here we've got, it tells you up here these two are, it tells you up here that these two triangles are what? Which means all the angles are congruent. That means this equals this, right? So how do I solve this, Wade? You're off somewhere else, huh? Jeremy, how do I solve it? Equal it. Make this equal to this. 125 equals 5x plus 25. Now y'all solve and tell me what x is. Solve and tell me what x is. Now, to solve this equation, what do I do first, Josh?
You gotta subtract 25 on both sides.
Yeah, subtract 25 on both sides.
And then
So I have 100 equals 5x. Now what?
then you divide 5 on both sides.
That's it? So what's x equal?
20.
Good. Now the next one, we know that 25 is equal to 25, 87 is equal to 87. So what do we know about these two? What do we know about 68 and 17x? They are, oh, we know this is congruent to this is congruent to this. Since two of them are congruent, what's the third one? Congruent. So how do we gonna solve for x? 68 equals 17x. Now what? Divide what? 17 on both sides. Who's saying 68? You're not going to divide 68 on both sides. So what does x equal? What does x equal? 4. 20? 17 times 20 is like 300. Alright, read this problem and see if you can figure it out on your own. Now, this problem says Janie is a wallpaper designer. In her new wallpaper design, she wants to include similar triangles. Are the two triangles at the right similar, and tell why? Why are the two triangles at the right similar? Well, first off, are they? Yeah, why are they similar? Say it, Margarisha, because what?
Because all sides are congruent.
No. This side is not congruent to anything. This side is not congruent to anything. That side is not congruent to anything. So all sides aren't congruent.
Well, the same shape.
They're not. They're the same shape. There you go. All three what are congruent? All three angles are congruent. When all three angles are congruent, but we don't know anything about the sides, that means they are similar. So y'all need to get that in your head. Similar has nothing to do with the sides. Did you hear me? Similar has nothing to do with the sides. Congruent does, but similar does not. So today we learned the difference between congruent and similar, and we learned how to tell whether two triangles were congruent or similar. Same size and the same shape.